In Palestine, at least 21 people were killed on Monday after Israeli bombardments in the city of Gaza during the first day of the holy month of Ramadan. In Bolivia, Latin American and European leaders met at the International Seminar for a New Regional Financial Architecture to discuss the ways of fostering better regional integration. NATO's Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg, during the ceremony of Sweden's accession to the military alliance, states that Sweden's arrival in the bloc will provide security and stability across Europe. Hello and welcome from the South. I'm Alejandra Garcia from teleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. In Bolivia, Latin American and European leaders met at the International Seminar for a New Regional Financial Architecture to discuss the ways of fostering better regional integration. Prominent leaders from Latin America and Spain participate in the seminar, which is being held in the city of Santa Cruz. Among the main topics of discussion during the event are the economic, financial and commercial challenges faced by Latin American countries. During the meeting, Venezuela's Executive Vice President Delcy Rodriguez denounced the use of SWIFT platform by the Western powers as a mechanism for economic pressure and urged the creation of a regional financial architecture mechanism.
This is international financial system, the SWIFT financial messaging system, where all financial operations and transactions in the world start and leave from the United States of America. A very small part from Germany, as far as the European system is concerned, but in general, the international financial system as a whole is governed by the United States of America in such a way that it becomes, I would say, one of the most exquisite instruments of economic aggression that the hegemon has, which at the press of a button excludes a country from the international financial system. That is why I believe that the call that has been made for a new regional financial architecture is essential.
Rodriguez also referred to the situation in Haiti and denounced that the United States was the most responsible for the crisis in the Caribbean nation.
Venezuela, through Petrocaribe, supported this fraternal country with $4 billion. But where is Haiti today? Who is responsible for the situation in Haiti today, and for it becoming now the wild card to endorse a military intervention? Because it is an invasion what is planned in Haiti. And who has been the main responsible? Those who sanctioned and blocked Venezuela, those who prevented the Petro-Caribbean program.
The Caribbean community, CARICOM, and the United States said on Monday that they were optimistic about the high-level meeting on Haiti held in Jamaica. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness said at a press conference in Kingston that the meeting was making progress, while Guyana's Prime Minister Irfan Ali reiterated his optimism and full confidence in the event. On the other hand, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken described the talks as moving in a positive direction. All agreed that the solution to the crisis in Haiti must be led by the Haitian parties, but with crucial support from CARICOM member countries and other international partners such as U.S., Canada and France. Guyana's president and chairman of the high-level meeting on the Haitian situation, Irfan Ali, described the situation in the Caribbean nation as on the brink of a disaster and called the participating nations to reach a decision only in the interest of the Haitian people.
I think we can all agree that Haiti is on the brink of disaster, and we must take quick and decisive action here in this room to bring the situation under control and to return the country to the Haitian people.
On the other hand, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said his participation in the meeting was to listen, to support the decisions reached, and to help expedite a political transition in Haiti.
We're here in Kingston today to listen to your ideas, but also to provide our concrete support for the way forward. And in particular, the joint proposal that was developed by CARICOM and all of the Haitian stakeholders to expedite a political transition.
In another part of his speech, the U.S. Secretary of State highlighted the importance of establishing the proposed broad-based, independent and inclusive presidential college in Haiti.
We support the plan to create a broad-based, inclusive, independent presidential college that would, in particular, first take concrete steps to meet the immediate needs of the Haitian people. Second, enable the swift deployment of the multinational security support mission. And third, through that deployment, through a reinforced Haitian National Police, create the security conditions that are necessary to hold free and fair elections, to allow humanitarian assistance to get to people who need it, and to help put Haiti back on a path to economic opportunity and growth.
Mexico's Secretary of Foreign Relations, Alicia Bárcena, on the other hand, praised CARICOM and its member countries' role in promoting dialogue between the political forces in Haiti for a solution of the present crisis without foreign interference.
I wish to recognize fully the efforts of CARICOM and you, Mr. President, and the Prime Ministers of CARICOM who are here today. I wish to recognize all of you because you have been able to promote dialogue between all the political forces of Haiti. A lasting and permanent solution can only come from within the Haitians' context, and one that includes all of the actors and does not involve foreign interference, but real support from the international community.
Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador promised justice for the death of the young Ayotzinapa teacher murdered on March 7th. The Mexican head of state lamented the death of Rothan Gómez Peralta, 23, in what he described as an abuse of power. Obrador expressed his condolences and solidarity to the victim's family while pledging to punish those responsible and assured that he would not allow impunity. The president also said in his morning press conference that the police officers involved in the incident in which Gómez Peralta lost his life are already in custody and at the disposal of the General Prosecutor's Office. In Ecuador, political and popular organizations will form on Monday the National Front of No to the popular consultation and referendum in rejection of the process promoted by President Daniel Noboa. The Communist Party of Ecuador, the Pachacutic Movement and the Guevarista Movement will unite in rejection of the governmental initiative, whose official campaign is scheduled to take place from April 7th to 18th. Ecuadorians will have to go to the polls on April 21st to answer yes or no to 10 questions proposed by Noboa, as well as to another question about the participation of the armed forces in actions against insecurity. In this sense, the National Electoral Council of the country approved the participation of several organizations that reject the consultation to promote the vote against the proposals presented by the President. Let's take a short break, but remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you will find news in different formats, news updates, and more. Other stories coming up, stay with us. Welcome back. In Palestine, at least 21 people were killed after Israeli bombardments in the city of Gaza during the first day of the holy month of Ramadan. Medical sources in the besieged Palestinian enclave confirmed the killing of 21 citizens, mostly children and women, while dozens were wounded after the attack on a family residence in the Al-Zaytun neighborhood in Gaza City. On the other hand, a bombardment on a house in Rafah claimed the lives of 3 citizens. According to local sources, during the last 24 hours, Israel perpetrated 7 massacres in the Gaza Strip, killing 67 people and wounding 106. Since the beginning of the genocide last October 7th, the occupation forces have killed 31,112 people and wounded more than 72,000. In Palestine, citizens in the Gaza Strip welcomed the holy month of Ramadan amidst the ongoing Israeli genocide, famine and displacements. The Palestinian government called on the countries of the world to put pressure on Israel and stop the ethnic cleansing against the Palestinian people, with over 110,000 victims, including the dead, the wounded, the disappeared and detainees. Through a statement, the Palestinian Authority denounced that in 5 months of aggression, Tel Aviv has attacked more than 500 mosques, of which 220 have been demolished. In this sense, the government assured that the faithful will not be able to perform prayers during the holy month for Muslims. The statement blames the United States and international community for the war of famine, genocide and crimes against children and women perpetrated by Israel. In this context, Gaza citizens made decorations to mark the beginning of the holy month of Ramadan. In Rafah, devout Muslims created paper lanterns with pages from books and themed drawings to decorate the streets and their homes. The celebration consists of a month of fasting, which for the parishioner community represents a period of reflection and prayers as a way of renewing faith and getting closer to God.
To decorate, we made paper lamps with leaf from books. Because of the war, we could no longer go to school, so we used the leaf of our books as decorations. We also got colors to make Ramadan drawings. Despite the war, we continue to decorate and try to be cheerful. We want the joy to continue among us. If we were at home, we would have bought new clothes, holiday sweets. We would have got more colors and more decorations. We went out and left everything in Gaza. I have no clothes, no dresses, nor sweets, and no cakes. Everything stayed there in Gaza. We are here since early in the morning to prepare ourselves to receive Ramadan and Ramadan environments. Despite the war, we will continue. Before we decorated the house, and now we decorate the street. We want to be cheerful and give joy to displaced people and to the little children.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Monday, in the framework of the celebration of Ramadan, reiterated his call for a ceasefire in Gaza.
Ramadan, even though Ramadan has begun, the killing, bombing and bloodshed continue in Gaza. At the same time, and in the Ramadan spirit of compassion, I call for the immediate release of all hostages. The eyes of the world are watching. The eyes of history are watching. We cannot look away. We must act to avoid more preventable death. We have witnessed months after months of civilian killing and destruction at a level that is unprecedented in all my years as Secretary General. Meanwhile, life-saving relief for Palestinians in Gaza is coming in trickles, if it comes at all. International humanitarian law lies in tatters, and the threatened Israeli assault on Rafah could plummet the people of Gaza into an even deeper circle of hell.
In the United States, citizens rallied in solidarity with Palestine before and during the Oscars ceremony. Hundreds of demonstrators greeted the artists with boos in recrimination to the holding of the 96th Hollywood Academy Awards, denouncing that while the awards ceremony is taking place, the Israeli genocide in Palestine continues. In addition, some artists participating in the event, such as the winner for the Best Original Song, Billie Eilish, and comedian Rami Youssef, wore red pins to call for an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza, as well as lasting peace and justice for the Palestinian people. At the Oscars ceremony in the United States, local and international artists showed their support for the Palestinian cause and demanded a permanent ceasefire in Gaza.
A bunch of us are wearing these Artists for Ceasefire pins. We're calling for immediate...
Yeah, tell me about the pin.
Yeah, we're calling for immediate, permanent ceasefire in Gaza. We're calling for peace and justice, lasting justice for the people of Palestine. And I think it's a universal message of just let's stop killing kids. Let's not be part of more war. No one's ever looked back at war and thought a bombing campaign was a good idea. And so to be surrounded by so many artists who are willing to lend their voice, the list is growing. A lot of people are going to be wearing these pins tonight. And it's because we want to kind of use where we're at to speak to people's hearts. You know, there's a lot of talking heads on the news. This is a space of talking hearts, and so we're trying to just kind of have that big beam to humanity.
Moreover, the winner of the Oscar in the category of Best International Film, Jonathan Glazer, expressed his solidarity with the victims of the Israeli occupation in Palestine.
Right now, we stand here as men who refute their Jewishness and the Holocaust being hijacked by an occupation which has led to conflict for so many innocent people. Whether the victims of October the... Whether the victims of October the 7th in Israel or the ongoing attack on Gaza, all are victims of this dehumanization. How do we resist?
We have a final short break coming up, but before we invite you to join our WhatsApp community for our English-speaking audience, you can scan the QR code on screen to join directly and share the link to reach more people. Constant news coverage of Latin America and the Caribbean, as well as the rest of the world. Stay connected and informed with teleSUR. Don't go away. Welcome back. On Monday, Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson and NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg held a joint press conference during Sweden's accession ceremony to the military alliance. On March 7th, Sweden joined NATO after more than 200 years of neutrality, becoming the 32nd member of the bloc. It should be noted that Sweden's accession to the U.S.-led alliance was materialized despite warnings from Russian President Vladimir Putin. In this sense, Russian leader has denounced that this expansion is a move aimed at destabilizing and increasing tensions between the West and his nation. For his side, Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson assured that his country will share the burdens of responsibilities and risk, acknowledging that the security situation in his region has not been as serious since World War II.
After more than 200 years of neutrality, you are joining the strongest and most successful military alliance in history. So welcome to NATO. It's great to have you here. NATO is stronger with Sweden as a full ally than Sweden as a close partner. So this is a good day for Sweden, a good day for NATO, and a good day for security and stability across Europe.
In Russia, Moscow, the Central Election Commission CEC on Sunday reported the start of advance voting in the Russian presidential elections set for next week for inhabitants of remote areas, ship crews, and some military units. The voting will last until March 14th, as elections in the rest of the Russian territory will begin the following day and will last 3 days. Traditionally, during early voting, CEC members traveled by helicopters, snowmobiles, and dog sleds to the most remote areas of the country. In the previous Russian presidential elections in 2018, only 0.29% of voters, which is about 180,000 people, voted early. In Lugansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson have been registered more than 4,500,700 voters. According to the CEC representatives, the largest number of voters in new Russian regions was registered in Donetsk, with more than 1,900,500 voters. In this context, the Foreign Intelligence Service denounced that the United States is planning cyber attacks on the country's electronic voting system during the March 17th presidential elections. According to the agency, Washington will mobilize its most experienced hackers. Russia will hold presidential elections next March 17th. Electronic voting will be available from the 15th. The candidates running for the highest office in Russia are Leonid Slutsky of the Liberal Democratic Party, Nikolai Kharitonov of the Communist Party, Vladislav Davankov of the New People Formation, and the current President Vladimir Putin, who is running as an independent. In Switzerland, the commander of the police of Cantonal de Valais, Christian Baron, reported the discovery of 5 bodies of the 6 missing skiers. The official detailed that the people had left for a popular tourist destination in the area on Saturday morning and that they were reported in the region of Tete Blanche. Baron did not give details of the identity of the bodies found. However, he indicated that the rescuers continue in the search of the 6 missing persons. The official also said that snowfall and strong winds had hindered much of the rescue work. In New Zealand, at least 12 people were hospitalized on an emergency basis due to a technical incident during a flight to Chile. The emergency services of New Zealand reported that 1 person is in serious health condition, while 12 others are injured. According to witnesses, the aircraft belonging to the LATAM company lost altitude rapidly when flying over the Tasman Sea and propelled all the people who were not wearing their seatbelts to the ceiling. So far, the authorities have not provided details about the circumstances of the incident. In Finland, port workers' unions go on strike in rejection of the reforms implemented by the government. According to the mobilized unions, the strike that began on Monday will continue until March 25th, which will paralyze cargo transportation in most of the country's ports. The demonstrators are opposed to pension reforms, sick leave, unemployment, simplification of dismissals, and the prohibition of strikes. According to local media, although raw materials will remain at the ports until the strike ends, some perishable goods, such as medicines and flowers, will be transported on passenger ships operating normally. We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok. For TeleSUR English, I'm Alejandra Garcia. Thank you for watching.